Alex Garland is one of those directors that can start a conversation soon as the credits roll, no matter what people think. Even with his last film, Men, which I was a little disappointed with, I was still excited to see what he does next. With his newest film, Civil War, you would think it is about a divided America that focuses on the left versus the right. But instead, you get a road trip that is a character study of some journalists and photographers as they are traveling through America. As we go through this country, we do learn about some events and actions that I wouldn't say led to the Civil War. It's more so just world building and history that Garland seems more interested in. And because of that, some people have said that this is a movie that doesn't have real political thoughts or issues because it's focused on its present time. It just seems like it's trying to be an apolitical film. I can totally see why people think that, but I promise you, if Garland made a film that is about the left versus the right, this film would not be as interesting. Like all of his past directed films, Alex Garland is fascinated with how people process and detach themselves from brutal realities. It's not just about that though, it's also about societies and people doing what they want without any structure or consequences. But the more interesting aspect of this film to me is the use of camera and weaponry. There are plenty of things that I like about Civil War, but I want to use this moment to talk about the sound design, specifically how effective the use and absence of sound is. Every fired bullet was blaring, it was impactful, it was terrifying to hear. There are plenty of times where the characters and the settings around them are very quiet, and then the moment you hear a gunshot, it kind of makes you jump. Now, when we do the opposite of a booming gunshot compared to a quiet camera shot, it is a stark contrast, but the result is compelling. Both Kirsten Dunst and Cailee Spaeny are photojournalists, and we get to see their point of view from their camera plenty of times. When Spaeny takes a shot, you hear the camera shutter. The film goes still for a second to present the subject she shot. It's black and white. You sit there and you bask it in. First of all, the photography and the still frame are well done. But second, it's just very effective to let the audience grasp that photo because of the silence. Some of Spaony's photos are taken during a shootout, they're taken during a riot, sometimes even in a car ride. The silence works in every photo. Nothing is distracting you from what she is seeing. So these two notions of sound are significant to each other. And when there are scenes where photography and weaponry are into play, it's overpowering. There's constant loud gunshots. You hear the shutter. You see the black and white still for a second. You wallow that in. Back to loud booming gunshots. These moments contrasting with sound are more memorable and compelling to sit through. That's why it's so riveting to watch, especially the last 15 to 20 minutes. It's a lot of that. There is also a theme of getting the shot, doing anything for that one photo. Even if it is from a weapon or a camera, don't think, just shoot. Is it worth getting the shot? The movie develops this idea the most out of anything, and I think that's what sticks the most, and it almost sticks that landing. There is a scene in the movie where Dunst and Spaeny are talking about how rare a good shot is, and I wish that came back to play in the end. I don't have a problem with how the movie ends, I just think this would have tied the knot a little bit better on the themes of photography in this film. I also enjoyed the cinematography. There are close-ups where the lighting around them adds a sense of uneasiness. Some colors peek through as well. It's something I'm going to look for a lot more on a rewatch. Now, as far as characters go, I do think the four main characters are a little underwritten, but the performers do a great job with adding to what they have. Kirsten Dunst is uneasy and desensitized from the world around her. There's some visual backstory to grasp how she is. Her performance really captures Garland's writing, or lack of, for this character. Cailee Spaeny has the most development. I won't go into spoiler territory, but her development perfectly fits the theme of getting the shot that I mentioned earlier. Wagner Moura plays a cocky journalist who feels a rush when there's danger. There is one shot of him where he is broken from what just happened to him. That one shot stuck with me the most. I also think the Breaker's Roar by Sturgill Simpson needle drop definitely adds a lot to it as well. Stephen McKinley Henderson is always great in any movie he's in. in, and he adds a great warmth to his character. However, the main star I want to talk about is Jesse Plemons. Once again, Plemons steals the movie. He just hooks the audience in, and it's so hard to look away. He is truly controlling the scene that he is in. It's incredibly tense to sit through. I was a little uneasy for the rest of the film after this, and there were plenty of great moments that led up to this, but this is the moment that really entraps you, and I think it's probably the one part of the film that will have a lot of people talking. I know that it's only April, but I really feel like I might have seen my favorite scene of the entire year. I was expecting a good time in Civil War, but I found it to be really compelling and riveting by the end. There are hints about historic events that make this world just a little bit more interesting. The sound design is fantastic, and it's the most effective aspect of this entire movie. The use of noise and silence, how they contrast one another, just really works for these action scenes. Really makes you just sit and grasp everything that is happening. I like the music supervision. The use of long lenses make this world feel a bit more uneasy. I do think the characters are a little underwritten, but the performances are really good. I also wish there was an important detail about photography that came back in the end. It is a very interesting movie that I would recommend people to watch because it will spark a conversation. Now, what will that conversation be about? I guess that is up to you. Some people will think it is about this, some people will think it is about that. I think it's about photography, get that shot, and just how sometimes the camera is a weapon. Unfortunately, this is apparently Alex Garland's last directorial feature. He said he needed to take a break after directing this. I'm sure it was a lot. Apparently this is A24's most expensive film. It certainly feels like it at times. I'm sure he will direct something again. Right now, I'm going to give Civil War a 4 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching this. If you've made it this far, have you seen Civil War? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below. What should I review next? What should I talk about next? Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. Make sure you exercise every day, drink your milk, and have a great day.